The rookies are reporting. NFL training camp is here. We did it. We weathered the off season. We are locked. We are loaded. We're ready for some NFL football. So what I figured we would do is we're going to take a couple segments here, and we're just going to take a look rookie by rookie, the top 3 picks of the Lions, and we'll sprinkle in some Brian Branch as well. But right here, right now, everybody, it's time to set it in stone. Jahmyr Gibbs. Lions made a move to go get him. Obviously, you have David Montgomery in that backfield as well. So, Lindsay, set it in stone, man. As we get ready to roll here for training camp, Jahmyr Gibbs, what's your take?
I actually love the pick, contrary to a lot of fans. They were killing the running back. I love the pick. I think he'll be a 1,000-yard rusher.
That's aggressive.
It is.
He didn't run for 1,000 yards at Bama, did he?
Let me check.
He did not.
No,
Okay.
but Bama probably had 3 other running backs right with him.
Well, the Lions got another one, too.
They got one other one, and then they're going to play more games. So you got to look at it that way. And I think as they get comfortable with him, the Lions' offense will be not super conservative, but there'll be more ball control, so they can, just extend games and try to keep the defense off the field and I keep Goff protected. I think that's a great way to do it. He can catch the ball out the backfield. So maybe a little under 1,000 yards.
All right, you're walking it back already. Yeah. Lindsay's take lasted about 90 seconds before he started walking it back.
I just thought about it because he's going to have probably 800 in receiving yards. So it'll balance itself out.
Spenmo, I have to run this by you because I feel as though as we start this, it took all of 90 seconds for us to get. Remember last year, Jared Goff, 5,500 yards?
Yep.
We did the math, right? With everybody's predictions about all the receivers. There were people out there in the street because we worked backwards from it. I was like, okay, yardage for Amon-Ra St. Brown. And people were like, 1,600 this year. And like we added it all up, and you got Jared Goff throwing for 6,000 yards, man, by the time the season's all said and done.
Yeah, right.
Are we getting too aggressive, I guess? Are we, Spenmo?
With Gibbs?
Yes.
I don't know.
I feel like we are.
I don't know. It's his last year at Alabama. He had 1,370 all-purpose yards.
See what I'm saying?
He had 926 on the ground and 444 through the air. So I think he'll be around 1,100 all-purpose.
Ethan S. says 650 rushing, 575 receiving, which is kind of that's where I am with. I will say this.
I think he gets more than 650 rushing though.
David Montgomery's going to get a lot of carries, man.
Well, it just depends though. You know how it is when one running back makes a statement that he is the cowbell, and then we go with him. So hopefully it's Gibbs.
iHarder says, I'm on so much coffee right now, I'd be disappointed if Goff didn't get 6,000 yards on the way to the Super Bowl. Blake says 1,300
Super
for
Bowl.
Gibbs.
I heard that word.
People were talking about it. Zachary Jones says, well, TK85 will have 2,000 yards, so there goes everything.
That's true.
So it's Jared Goff throwing for now, like 6,500, having the greatest season in NFL history.
Yeah, we're trending. You see this is the overriding point of what I wanted to get with. Like, I feel like we're being a little extra. Not you, Lindsay, per se. You walked it back a little bit. You're starting to get sensible about it.
I'm coming back to my rookie excitement senses.
And boom, here it is from Corey Berry. 1,000 all-purpose yards would be very successful for Gibbs as a rookie. Flannel, I think that's my statement that I would adopt. He gives us a K of all-purpose yards. I'm taking it because here's the deal, Flannel. I think Montgomery's going to get to 1,000 all-purpose too, and you're going to have the first backfield tandem since Reggie Bush and Joique Bell to do that.
Yeah, I mean with Jahmyr Gibbs, here's a couple of benchmarks that I think I can set for him. I hope that he gets between maybe 150 and 175 carries and averages at least 4.5. So what would that add up to? Something around 600, 700. And then as a receiver, I wouldn't be third on the team in receptions. I think
because it's going to be juice to him in the start, obviously, with the Jameson Williams situation. I think we're going to see a lot of him in the slot. Mm-hmm. Slot, maybe split out wide, kind of like a Swiss Army knife type receiver. just to kind of fill the void, Lindsey, till Jameson Williams gets back. So I do think his receiving yards will be skewed a little bit. That's fair.
No, that's real fair. They're gonna need somebody to step up while J-Mo is out. So, and I think they'll utilize the backs a lot more than we probably even think. I don't, because I like Goff, but I don't think he's gonna be taking shots all over the field. I just don't see him doing that.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Let's go Red Wings Sparty. 1,000 all-purpose yards for Gibbs, Montgomery, Amon-Ra, and TK85.
Hey, for real though, the first three I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, would anybody be shocked in this room if all three of the first and not Tom Kennedy got 1,000 all-purpose yards?
No.
Not even a little bit.
No, and Kevin Bell says, Neil, you got to realize we could put Montgomery in the backfield and Gibbs out in the slot. I think in the beginning of the season, Gibbs will even be split out wide. And I think you'll see him. I think you'll see him catching the ball a little further down the field than you might even think. I think he is going to be their replacement receiver, because that's why I was kind of surprised when they moved on from DeAndre Swift. Now I get that there are some things about that, and Lindsey, you can speak to this, how it works in professional sports. When you're not their guy, i.e. when they didn't draft you, and they're not interested in signing you, right. You know how that works. But at the same time, because I thought that DeAndre Swift did a very good job of that last year when he was in the slot and was a factor.
Yeah, but
you got to be available. I get it.
He wasn't healthy.
Right, and I'm not debating that.
Kind of like Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Except without the Hall of Fame resume, but that's okay.
Dirty Dr. D was getting 100% of wide receiver X reps at camp a month ago. So, boom, there you go. I think that story is kind of writing itself. What do you got for him, Spenmo? Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs, 1,100, 1,200 all-purpose yards, 6 to 8 touchdowns.
Where do you put Montgomery in that?
Montgomery will have more touchdowns. Montgomery will have like 12 plus because he's going to get all the goal line carries. I think he'll have more rushing yards than Gibbs, and Gibbs will have more receiving yards than him.
So between the two backs, you got 25 touchdowns?
Wait, but you got about 20.
About 20, yeah.
Okay.
I think Gibbs will have more receiving because he's going to break some.
Okay.
While Montgomery will get all that dirty work, the Jamal Williams-esque touchdowns.
Okay. What do you got, Sam Flannel? Set it in stone, man.
All right, so if I'm going to set it in stone, I will say between 1,200 and 1,300 all-purpose yards and double-digit touchdowns in some way, shape, or form. I think that would be a very successful rookie season for Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't think he's going to come out and win Rookie of the Year, but I think he will certainly help this offense, hopefully in the first 6 weeks in particular.
You know what, though? If he puts up those kinds of numbers, he is in the Rookie of the Year discussion, especially if they win a division. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how that works. That gets juiced. We've seen it in this town before.
But to be fair, I expect Bijan Robinson to lead the NFC in rushing as a rookie. So I think he will.
Like you expected DeAndre Swift?
Well, but isn't Bijan coming out more likely, I would say, in that with that offensive line, which had Tyler Algier rushing for 1,000 yards last year?
Don't hate on Tyler Algier like that.
I'm not hating on Tyler Algier. I'm just saying if Tyler Algier can do it, then Bijan Robinson can probably get to 14. He's 1/5 of the talent Tyler Algier that Bijan Robinson is. 1/5.
BD3 thought criminal. I want to hear Lindsey talk about the Pistons rookie and how they'll fit. BD3, check back towards the end of the show. We'll do a little impromptu Ask Lindsey for you. Run that one back around 12:50, and I'll get it to him, and we'll discuss it. But yeah, it's just you're looking at a Rookie of the Year. I think very much with a shot of Rookie of the Year if he comes out and does that. If this Lions team does what they're expected to do. Because you know what the narrative is going to be. If they do what they're expected to do, well, Gibbs showed up on the scene, and look at this. And now, you have a modern-day backfield with these two guys out there. So...